Today's episode of TNC Movie Nights is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way to monetize your podcast. They help by giving podcasters just like us a flat rate for ad space, so you always know what you're going to get when you have an ad presented by Podgo. You can apply today and be immediately connected to advertisers that will fit your audience. Just go to podgo.co, that's Podgo.co, and when you go there, there's a little box that says, "How did you hear about Podgo?" Make sure you let them know the movie night sent you.
This is TNC Movie Nights. This is our third take. It's already been a rough start, but we're there. We're doing it. Last episode, we kind of blurted at the end that next week's Christmas. By that, we meant this week we're talking Christmas stuff. Not that it's actually Christmas. So today's episode, as you can see by the title already, as you clicked on the video and saw the thumbnail, we're talking about our top 5 Christmas movies. And of course, there's going to be some honorable mentions, maybe some not so honorable mentions as well. Elf. But yeah, I'm super excited to go ahead and talk about these. But before we jump in, Alex, how's your week going?
It's not bad, man. Things are crazy as always. We live in a world that we live in, and it is the year that it is. So, there's that. How about you?
Better week, but the week before, it was just rough. I don't know why, but I had a pretty solid week this week. Excited to, grind out the rest of this month so we can get that blooper episode out. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
I've watched it again since that episode, and it's a good. Sorry, since you and I watched it after our episode, and it's a great time. It's so much fun.
God, I'm so excited.
But yes, we're going to go ahead and jump into it today with our top 5 favorite movies. Let's go ahead and start out with our honorable mentions. Okay. Alex, go ahead and give us yours.
All right. So this first one, I don't want anyone to gasp because there's a reason for it. There's a reason it's not on the main list, and you'll see why eventually. But the live action Grinch. That's an honorable mention for me. It didn't crack my top 5, but it's a really good movie. It's really fun, and spoilers, you'll get to learn a little bit more about it later in the week, but yeah, I really like it.
Totally fair. I'm not going to speak too much on that movie right now, since we'll be talking about it a lot in the week and maybe a little more in this episode a little later. My first one is Jack Frost. I was a huge fan of that movie growing up. Michael Keaton, right? Yeah, it's Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah, it's Michael Keaton.
Really fun movie. I just remember that was one of the probably 3 movies growing up that I would watch every single Christmas 1 to 3 times. But yeah, it just didn't quite crack my list because there's a couple on here that are definitely, when I say them, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's more of a Brandon movie. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to talk about those. I'll go ahead and get my last honorable mention that I have on here before I toss it back to you for any more. The one that I was a little surprised didn't make my list was Bad Santa.
Not bad.
Well,
actually bad.
Yeah, it's a terribly fun movie. And it's definitely that type of genre that I enjoy much more now, that raunchy comedy. And I can never remember his name who plays Bad Santa.
Billy Bob Thornton?
Thank you. I want to say he was in Bad News Bears. Yeah, and a couple other movies I always really enjoyed. But I think that's one of those movies that it's so much fun. To me, I don't know what it is, but that's like if truly Tim Allen was Santa. Is what what I look at that movie.
Just smoking, yelling at kids, just being a dick.
Exactly. That's truly Billy Bob Thornton was honestly just playing Tim Allen as Santa, and it's a great time because Tim Allen has played Santa before.
Yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to mention. I have one more honorable mention, and then I have some dishonorable mentions. The honorable mention I have is A Christmas Story. It didn't crack the list because it's not one of my top 5 favorites. So, I mean, that's kind of just duh. But it's one of my mom's favorite movies, and it's on that 24-hour TBS loop every year. So every year we end up watching it at least once all the way through. Some good memories there. But there's a reason I only watch it once a year, and there's that. But back to the Tim Allen. Santa Claus will not be on this list because I hate Tim Allen so much. Um, Also, sorry to say for those Die Hard lovers out there. Oh my God, Die Hard. Yeah, that's not going to be here either because we're sort of focusing on obvious Christmas movies, things that are Christmas movies on purpose, not that just happened at a Christmas party. Something we can discuss in detail later. We're not picking sides in the is or is not a Christmas movie, but for our list purposes, we are going with obvious Christmas movies. The other one, we don't have the claymation, like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeers or any of those, because
They're terrible. They're terrifying. They're bad. They scare me.
well, there's that. That's why. I wasn't a huge fan of them as a kid. They're kind of creepy, and it took me until I was like a teenager to actually appreciate and start to like claymation and stop motion animation, stuff like that. I like it now, but just it's not that like, oh my God, it's amazing. Yeah, and then pretty much any Tim Burton movie won't be here. Not dishonorable. They're decent. Edward Scissorhands is decent. Nightmare Before Christmas is a pretty solid movie, but it goes back to that stuff for us. So there's that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so my not so honorable mention is Elf. Who would have thought? And Nightmare Before Christmas. I know you brought it up. It won't be on the main list, but Nightmare Before Christmas, not for me. I don't know. Can't do the Tim Burton animation. Edward Scissorhands, fine movie. It's not all Tim Burton movies I don't like, but it's just the animation. Same with the claymation. I could never get into it. I still am creeped out from those movies. I'm shocked I somehow missed those for on the Scarred episode we did. But yeah, no, can't do it. I can't do weird animation in movies. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah. So if those are your favorites, we apologize, but we won't be talking about them more than we already did. But with that, do you want to kick us off, Brandon? Or do you want me to start it?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start because it's a movie you already brought up, and that is going to be the live action Grinch. I don't want to bring it up too much because slight spoiler alert. We'll go ahead and say it at the end of the episode as well. But the review this week is going to be live action Nightmare. Oh wow,
yeah,
live action.
What are you?
I don't know. Live action Grinch. I looked over here and I saw Nightmare Before Christmas, and I just popped in my head again.
Man, it's 2020. Everything's a live action nightmare. That's just what we live in.
So live action Grinch with the I still think the great Jim Carrey at that time frame. He was still, I think most people still at that time thought he's one of the best comedy actors. Maybe not so much anymore, but I still really love Jim Carrey, and I honestly, that movie's just so much fun. So I don't want to get into too much because we will be doing a full review tomorrow as we record it. You'll see it on Saturday when it comes out. So yeah, live action Grinch is my first movie on my list.
That is pretty solid. It almost cracked mine, but like I said, you'll see why it didn't later. My number 5 is Scrooged with Bill Murray. I don't watch it every year. Haven't watched it for a long time. So who knows? Maybe on the next watch I'll change it. But I remember watching this and just having fun. It was one of the. It just is, man. It's fun to watch. I like movies. I love being in the whole holly jolly spirit. I'd have my little Santa hat on if it wasn't up in the attic right now. But it's fun to sort of have a break from that while also still kind of being in that world of not just the happy fa la 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 sort of Christmas movie, but it still kind of is at the end. So you still get that warm and fuzzy of Christmas, but it's also Bill Murray, so it's just kind of dumb and funny. I don't know. I like it. It's a nice change of pace movie, and it was pretty fun.
It's really funny because growing up in the time frame we did, I always felt I wish there was more movies with Bill Murray, and I feel like I say that because we grew up just kind of after the Bill Murray craze. We grew up in the Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey stage, where a lot of people our age, a little older, think those people just need to stop doing movies. They're overdone. They're all the same. Where some people would say the same thing for someone like Bill Murray, who was born more in the late 70s, probably early 80s. And I don't think I've ever watched a movie with Bill Murray that I really thought was just he didn't do well in it, but he's so good. And in Scrooged, he's fantastic.
It's just great. It's perfect casting. I don't even think he had to try that hard. He just kind of feels like the guy that's like that. Just the kind of jackass with a heart of gold, or maybe not. Like you don't know. He's like an M&M where it's like you have a candy shell and then the chocolate coating, but you don't know if it's like jackass is the shell and then heart of gold is the candy, or if heart of gold is the shell and he's really a jackass at heart. I don't know. It's kind of a mystery.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
But it's a good. He's movie. Definitely fun.
Yeah.
The next one on my list is The Night Before, with I'm gonna need you to probably tell me the actor's name again, but Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and
can you remember it?
No, I'm googling it.
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie, thank you so much. The incredible actor that plays Falcon now.
Mm-hmm.
He is incredible in this movie, and it's so weird to me because growing up, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, one of my favorites from Third Rock from the Sun, Seth Rogen, that kind of bridge into raunchy comedy, but Anthony Mackie might be my favorite part of this whole movie because he's so good in it, and he's kind of this balance between the two of them, and the movie's just really fun. If you like raunchy comedy, I'd give it a shot. It's about three best friends who have this constant Christmas Eve party that they always go to, or like hangout session, however you want to put it, and they're finally ending it because Anthony Mackie's character is too famous. Seth Rogen's character is having a kid. It's a good time. It's really fun, and if you want to laugh and just have a good time, it's a great Christmas movie for that.
Sounds pretty solid. I haven't seen it yet, so maybe we'll have to do that for another review or something like that. My number 4, we don't have to dig too deep into because you already mentioned it in your honorable mentions. It's Jack Frost. It's so much fun. It's kind of dumb, and maybe it's not that great, but I remember watching this movie over and over as a kid. You could usually catch it on like a Disney Channel Christmas special or something. It was one of the rare sort of like made for TV type movies, which I know it technically wasn't. It was made in 98, but it was always played on TV growing up. And it was one of those that I didn't kind of roll my eyes at. So I was like, oh, this is fun. This is on now. So I would always watch it. And so I always have good memories of that movie.
That was always one of those movies, one of the very few that I would see it on during Christmas. And I don't care what I was doing. I could say up next, Jack Frost the movie, I would be watching that movie now. So it's a fun movie. Yeah, it's not the greatest, but it's a good time. It really is.
Totally.
So the next one on my list, gonna stick with kind of that raunchy comedy aspect right now, and then we'll go and move on to some a little more normal, maybe wholesome, and then just normal Christmas movies for some people. But a very Harold and Kumar Christmas. This was the first Harold and Kumar movie I ever saw, and then I went back and watched the other two. I think there's only two others. Neil Patrick Harris in this movie, and then just the combo of Harold and Kumar in the movie. They're just so much fun together. And I don't know what it is, but taking such a wholesome family holiday and then twisting it and then making it kind of like dirty, it's so funny, and it's so nice to kind of get to see a different side of what a Christmas movie can be with movies like Bad Santa, Harold and Kumar, The Night Before.
All right, I can't argue with that, especially considering that my next one is Christmas Family Vacation. So I mean, I can't badmouth any of that you just said. But Christmas Family Vacation is a new addition to the list. Oh my God, I think 2 Christmases ago, watched part of it, and then last Christmas I finally actually watched it because it is one of my girlfriend's favorite movies, just in general. We watched it and it was great, and we went to the theater because they were having a special for it, and so we got to watch it on the big screen, and it was so much fun. It's fun, it's dumb, it's funny. It's very, very quotable, which is super fun. A little raunchy. So yeah, it kind of hits all the notes there for you. If you like that sort of, these maybe slightly less family friendly, but still not being totally exclusive to, family fun times. So yeah, that's definitely on the list for me.
I've never seen it myself.
Kelly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank, but aren't there like other movies like this?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
National Lampoon's Vacation. So there's
It's like
Christmas
series.
Family
Yeah,
Vacation.
yeah.
There's, I don't even remember the other ones, but there's another one with Chevy Chase, who also he's up there on that Tim Allen list of just being a sack of you know what. But at the time, in the '80s, he made some funny movies, or he was in some funny movies. I don't want to give him too much credit, but yeah, he had Another Vacation. They had Christmas Family Vacation 2, where like Randy Quaid was the star of the show because he plays Cousin Eddie. This is a fun little side piece, and then we can take your number 2 on the list. But Sahara was always giving me crap because I actually have a cousin Eddie, who's actually a fan of the show. What's up, Eddie? And
Hi, Eddie.
so she was like, "How have you not seen Christmas Family Vacation? You literally have a cousin Eddie." So, fun little side piece there.
No, I do.
Let me pull it up here.
I can't say I agree because I don't know enough about Chevy Chase, but he's one of those actors that I just never saw anything he was in. A lot of people, have talked about him as an actor and like a lot of the Lampoon movies, but I really don't think I've seen anything with him. Honestly, a little glimpse and pieces of things here and there. Like I know I've seen
Not even like Caddyshack.
I don't know if I've ever even actually completely finished that movie just because my dad said try to make me watch that so many times and I cannot get through like 2/3 of it. I don't know why. It's just so dry to me. I know like the humor of the 80s to now is so different, but yeah, I don't know. I do need to give something a shot with him. I'd like to see one of the Lampoon movies at least with him. But
Check out Christmas Family Vacation. I think you would like it because it's raunchy enough to
Okay.
not just be a boring Christmas movie, but it's still like it's fun. It's a good watch.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it.
all right, cool. No, I'll definitely
God.
give it a shot. I know I'll need something else to watch this Christmas. So the
God,
second
really
movie that
great.
I'm going to move on to in my list is going to be Gremlins. Big
Nice.
fan. I know we talked about it on the Scared Us episode a little bit on how weirdly this is one of those few movies that never really affected me. But Gremlins, I don't know why. Like growing up, I always thought like, Gremlins is so cute. Even though how weird the last like 20, 30 minutes of the movie is, and it gets so creepy and dark, but I just loved Gizmo so much. He
is adorable.
Oh yeah, like to me, Gizmo was the Baby Yoda before Baby Yoda. Like that's
Damn. Okay. That's
Gizmo,
fair.
great time. And of course, every single animal I've ever had, I'm like, I want to name him Gizmo. He's just so adorable. But
Yeah.
Gremlins, fun movie. Takes some weird turns, gets pretty dark, and is honestly a lot scarier than you'd think for somewhat of a kids horror movie ish. Yeah.
It's a weird one because it
Yeah.
tries. You don't know what they're trying to do. Like you don't know who it's meant for because
Yeah.
part of it totally is just like fa la 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 Christmas movie time, and then there's a twist and you're like, damn, he just put a gremlin in a microwave and exploded it, and then put another one in a blender and liquefied it, and we just watched it all happen. And that's kind of weird. The weird thing about that movie for me though was not how creepy the gremlins were, because they kind of made them funny too. So
Yeah.
that didn't really stick with me. The fear didn't, because it's like, they're creepy, but they're also funny.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that like scarred me about that movie was the narrator at the end.
That's
Just
right,
basically
yeah.
being like, hey, so by the way, this is real, everything's real, and they're gonna come for you and they're gonna kill you. That's not what he said at all. But when you're watching that movie when you're 10, that's what you hear. And you're just like, oh my god, I don't like this movie anymore. But it is a good movie. So I totally see why that's on your list.
Yeah. Super fun time. All right, Alex, what's your next movie on the list?
I'll keep this short because you're my friend. And we've talked about this movie in depth for weeks now. My number 2 is Elf. I love that movie. Nothing you can say will ruin that movie for me. It is one of the best Christmas movies ever made. It is one of my favorite Christmas movies ever made. Obviously, it is number 2 for me. There's only one better Christmas movie than Elf. And we will get into that.
Smashing my head on my microphone right now.
But yes, Elf is my second favorite Christmas movie. It sometimes... I can't say it's number 1. My number 1 has been my favorite since I was a little kid, so I'm not going to say Elf is number 1. But Elf is such a good Christmas movie. I love it. I watch it every year. It's great. And you just have a bah humbug up your butt.
I feel like I relate a lot more to Scrooge right now. This was almost a perfect episode. I don't know why I thought we weren't going to hear Elf from you. I know you ran down your list and everything, but I don't know. I think I just blocked that name out of my... all right, my favorite movie.
It's movie nights, man. If we're not talking about Elf, we're talking about Doolittle. If we're not talking about Doolittle, we're talking about Tim Allen. If we're not talking about Tim Allen, then we're not even recording. Will Ferrell, yeah, there it is.
And then I agree. If we're not talking about that, we're not recording normally.
Yeah, so we'll find something else to pick on in 2021. But until then, Elf is amazing.
Okay. My last movie, and I am actually wanting to hear more of your side of this movie than my own.
Interesting.
Because you told me you did not care for this movie, and that is my favorite of Home Alone. That is my favorite Christmas movie just because the idea, the dream of being a kid that age, having the house to yourself for like a weekend, and
murdering Joe Pesci.
Yeah, screw Joe Pesci. Just kidding. I love Joe Pesci. The endless possibilities, and then just seeing a kid be able to outsmart grown-ups. I just remember being so young and being like, it doesn't always matter how old you are. You can outsmart anyone if you just think hard enough. And I just love that movie so much. But why do you dislike that movie?
Okay, it's not that I dislike it.
Okay.
It's that it doesn't have that like deep-seated, rooted in my soul type of effect that it has on other people. And I get that I am an outlier with that. I get that I'm the weird one. I'm the one that's like not fitting in with that. So I fully embrace that, and I get it. I get why it's such a great movie. I get why a lot of people love it. I just never had that. It was never part of Christmas for me. I never, it wasn't like let's sit down and watch Home Alone again because there's snow on the ground. And so it was a movie that I saw every couple of years. That's decent. I don't dislike it. It's decent. Some pretty funny physical comedy in there. It doesn't get as tiresome as other movies that try to be like it with just being physical humor. There's a bit of cleverness there to it that I appreciate. Joe Pesci is great. It's not bad. That's what I'll say. It's not bad. I enjoy it when it's on, but I don't really put it on. It's one of those things that if it's on, I'll watch it. But even if I'm scrolling through and I see Home Alone, I just kind of don't care. So I apologize if I'm making anyone lose their mind right now. I don't dislike your favorite movie. It's not like a Elf situation that we just had.
Oh, where I despise the movie. Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
It's just not my favorite.
I can understand that because it definitely is a little bit more of a ha-ha movie than like a feel-good Christmas movie. So, no, yeah, I can definitely see that side of it. That was one of the movies growing up that was we're watching it multiple times every Christmas. So I guess Elf to me growing up was kind of like what Elf is for a lot of people. Sorry, Home Alone is what Elf is for a lot of people.
And that makes sense, because I'm sure that if I had watched it A Christmas Story, it's not awesome, but because I watched it so much, I have such like good memories of it, and that's why it's an honorable mention. And so if you have that for a movie that you also think is just a good movie, then of course it would be high up on your list, and of course it would be one of your favorites, if not your favorite. I totally get that. I just didn't have it. Same with the like the claymation ones. My mom loves them. I know a lot of people that love them. I mean, my girlfriend loves them probably almost as much as Elf. So I get it. I just didn't have that. So I don't have it. But I don't hate it. So
Totally fair.
don't kill me in the comments. But my favorite movie, my favorite Christmas movie, has been a long time number one on this list. Elf tries to knock on the door every once in a while, but this one, I don't think it'll ever come down from number one. I watch it every year. I love it so much, and I don't think any other Christmas movie has much like just that, exactly what I was talking about, that deep-seated, rooted in your soul type of Christmas spirit as the animated How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Not the new one, obviously, the 1966 one. I love that movie so much. It is so good. I love the animation. I love the narration. I love the songs. I have some fun facts for you about the movie. It's directed by Chuck Jones. So, of course, I love the animation because I love the Looney Tunes. So, how would you not? And then the narrator is actually Boris Karloff, who was Frankenstein's monster, like the OG. That's straight up in Bride of Frankenstein. In Frankenstein, he is Frankenstein's monster, and he's also the narrator for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So for all you spooky Christmas lovers out there who are upset at us for not having Nightmare Before Christmas on there, there's your spooky Christmas, is that Frankenstein's monster narrates the Grinch. But God, every time I hear that voice, he even took the roast beast. Oh, I love that. And then the songs, it's just good. It's just good.
It's so funny looking at the cast list for this movie.
Because they're all dead.
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
No, but
It's not that old. I'm sorry.
So here's the cast. Boris Karloff, narrator, The Grinch. Rest of the cast list alphabetically: June Foray, Cindy Lou Who, Doll McKinnon, Max, Thurl Ravenscroft, singer You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. And that's the cast for the movie. That's crazy.
Oh,
now we see like 200 actors in a list for a casting of a movie. This one had 4.
Yup. It's great.
1966, how you have changed from now.
What is not to love?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I kept saying he was the narrator. He is the narrator. He's also the Grinch.
Yeah.
So. It's alive.
It's good. We both had a version of the Grinch
great.
in our list. And
Yes. That's why the live action one didn't make it on for me.
Yeah.
Because it's good, but if I'm watching the Grinch on Christmas, I'm watching the animated one. So that's why it's not there. But it's on Netflix. It's fun. Still really like it. Jim Carrey is a master of physical comedy, so it's fun to watch him in the suit like that. But yeah, man, the animated one. That's the one that hits the soul right there.
No, yeah, totally fair. And again, I'm excited that we get to watch the live action Grinch for our review this week, because at least we kind of get to break down the story, break down just the whole aspect and meaning of it. Yes, it will be a little bit different, of course, since it is live action to the animated one with the narration of Boris Karloff. But it's going to be a good time, so definitely make sure to check that one out when it drops out Saturday, right around noon on both podcasting and YouTube. But yeah, Alex, where can the people find us?
Well, Brandon, the people can find us at thenerdchambers.com. We are TNC Movie Nights. The TNC stands for The Nerd Chambers. So go there. You can find us there. You can find the rest of the Nerd Chambers gang there. If you're on the social medias, you can find us there too. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Am I forgetting one? I don't think so. If you're watching us, you're on YouTube right now. If you're listening to us, it's wherever you can find podcasts. We got hooked up there. And if you would like to visibly support us, you can check out our merch shop. Brandon's rocking. Wait, sorry, you're this way. Brandon's rocking the movie nights, and I, because we're buddies, I'm gonna rock TNC Penguin.
Woo!
I didn't buy it. My mom got it, and it didn't fit. So
no,
this is my shirt now.
Hey, totally.
But still rock it.
I
Respect
appreciate
to you, Mr. Penguin.
Thanks, man. Just to kind of remind everyone, we do have 2 giveaways going on right now. One on twitch.tv/thenerdchambers. Once we hit 250 followers, which I think we hit 170 today, so 80 more followers, math. 80 more followers, and we'll be giving away a $100 gift card for PSN. So, you can use that to get Cyberpunk or maybe some movies on just the network for PlayStation or any other games you want as well. We also have a 100 follower giveaway going on twitch.tv/ of course, TNC Penguin. Either on, it's 100 followers on Twitch or 500 followers on the Facebook. Whatever happens first. Looks like it's probably going to be Twitch since we just hit 62, I think, today. So we're getting pretty close. We're giving away a Phantom Rage Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster box. And depending when we hit 100, I might do something else a little special too to give out something to another winner as well. So definitely excited. I do appreciate it. Go to the Twitch links down in the description below, and you'll be able to quickly follow those channels. So we do appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with us.
If you go to the Twitch, by the way, go to the Nerd Chambers 1 too, and go check out maybe, I don't know, the thing where we talked about the game show or the Game Awards winners, because I don't remember, Brandon. Who won that?
His name was Owen. He won the giveaway one for the our followers.
Good job, Owen. Who was the Nerd Chambers crew member who I don't... Was that me? Did I?
All right, everyone. I hope you guys had a great week this week. If you don't hear from us again soon, Merry Christmas.
He's Brandon. I won the game. Bye, guys.